What's up, everyone? It is Mr. Dean. Welcome back to the Special Hour, the podcast where we just like to drive our trucks and cut our grass. So for anyone that doesn't know, we just had the Super Bowl halftime show this past week. And, my co-host, DonovanDud. What's up, Donovan?
Hi there. It's Donovan. I just want to cut my grass.
I was too busy thinking about the Turning Point USA fucking halftime.
It's all right. I'm busy putting on my boots.
Yeah, and catching your fish, right?
Yeah. Wait, I forgot to feed the dog. Oh, God. Man. It's only these people are stopping me from feeding my dog.
Yeah, dude, it's those liberals, bro. They're just not gonna let you do that. So we had the Super Bowl halftime show this past Sunday. Of course, the actual halftime show was Bad Bunny. And did you watch the Bad Bunny show, Donovan?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was great. Like, I loved it. I haven't even really listened to Bad Bunny's music, but like, dude, I was like low key just like bouncing around.
It was a poppin' party down there in the field. It was pretty cool. Cool camera work as well.
Yeah, no, it was sick. But of course, the star of the show was Turning Point USA because, you know, how dare how dare the NFL employ someone that's not only are they not white, Donovan, but they don't speak English. We can't have that. Come on, we gotta.
Puerto Rico is not American, even though it's a U.S. territory.
Yeah, it is literally an American territory, but whatever.
Is this a gaming podcast?
Donovan, can we talk about Kid Rock? Like, cause what the fuck was that? What the fuck?
I don't even know who he is, but that was some amazing lip syncing.
Dude, that was pre-recorded. It literally was pre-recorded.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is a gaming podcast, despite popular belief. If you have not seen the Turning Point USA halftime show, don't do it.
One of the games that we'll be talking about, you will be cutting your grass.
That's a great segue, right? Donovan. You will be doing that. Yeah. All right. So what have you been up to this past week, though?
Low key, nothing. Just work.
Lovely talk, Donovan.
Honestly, I can't think of any.
Did you at least like eat food? Did you eat?
No, I actually was asleep the entire time. I was like Master Chief in like cryo sleep.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I was just masturbating. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? All right.
Well, with the new Dead or Alive game, maybe.
Oh, holy shit! Another great segue to a future segment we're gonna have.
You.
This past week has been pretty eventful for me, actually. Aside from the Super Bowl show, which I once again, I could spend the entire podcast talking about that. I will refrain
that
from doing that.
That was the most boring game, actually. In the words of Queso, it was very nice of Bad Bunny to have people playing football at his concert.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't really follow football, but weren't people kind of wanting the Seahawks to win? So at least there was that.
I mean, I wanted them to win.
Yeah, I feel like most people, because don't people like hate the Patriots or something?
Well, the Patriots... The billionth time they're at the Super Bowl, like, give me a break.
This past week, so last episode, if for those of you guys that did not listen to it, a big part of discussion was foot jobs. And this past week, I actually...
What?
I didn't get a foot job. That did not happen, unfortunately. Maybe next week. Maybe episode 33, I'll come in and I'll be like, dude, I had the best week of my life. But no, this past week, I got a foot massage. So that's like the next closest thing. Maybe aside from a pedicure, because I hear those are pretty close. But no, like the foot massage was actually very relaxing. I liked it. The place I went to was playing like relaxing spa music. It was just nice. I would highly recommend if no one's ever had a foot massage before. Mm-hmm. I also, funny story, I went to a social event where we played the board game Wavelength. Donovan, have you ever played Wavelength before?
No.
Okay, so Wavelength, for anyone that doesn't know, essentially it's like a spectrum game where one person is the guesser and the other person's giving the prompt, right? And you have a card, which is like one side will be most relaxing and then the other side will be stressful. The person that's giving the hint will spin the wheel. It has a specific point, for a point total on that spectrum, and they have to give hints for something that falls on that, part of the diagram. I don't know how to really describe it. But anyway, I don't remember exactly the context for why this got brought up, but someone started talking about Nick Wilde during the game. And then whenever someone started talking about Nick Wilde, everyone's turned and looked at me. Because I think it's because of how many reels I send people about Zootopia 2 on Instagram. and everyone thinks that I have like some weird kink or something. I don't, just for the record, but I could see maybe why people would think that. I mean, Donovan knows from the reels I've sent him. Donovan, are you ready to? Oh wait, we have our special selects. That's the second week in a row.
Yeah, that is a thing that we do.
That's the thing that we do, dude. We are 6 minutes in, and this has been the fucking worst podcast we've ever recorded. All right, so Donovan, what have you been playing the past week?
I have some bangers. Firstly, I played the Pragmata demo, a game from Capcom coming out in April. At first, I was eyeing it ever since last year when it was first announced. I thought, interesting concept. The thing is, though, I was very interested in how the gameplay would work, because how it is, it's a third-person shooter, but you have this tactical advantage where against the enemies where you can hack their systems. I thought that would be a little bit clunky, because how am I supposed to balance shooting while also hacking at the same time, which looks like a puzzle in and of itself. But then I played the demo, and I actually found the gameplay very fun and fluid, and thank Christ, it has gyro controls. When I was playing Highguard, it did not have gyro controls. I had to use sticks. And yeah, everyone and their mother uses sticks for shooter games on consoles. But like, Splatoon has spoiled me. Gyro controls work amazingly. It gives me the precision of a mouse with a controller. Yeah, on top of gyro controls, the hacking portion was done with the face buttons, and I found it was pretty intuitive. It was not as clunky as I thought. Pretty fun. Yes, this was a demo, so I'm wondering what the full game will bring, because I'm not quite sure what the story is. I'm not sure what, other than the hacking component of the gameplay, I'm not really sure what the hook is for this game. But I'm very interested. I'll probably see reviews when it comes out, and I'll decide if I'll purchase the game. I've been playing 2 other games on my iPhone. One is called Good Pizza, Great Pizza. It's where you create some pizza. I don't know what else to say. It's probably one of my favorite mobile games where you just make some pizza. Love the art style.
See, this is why people listen to our podcast, Donovan, because we play real games.
We play real games. Unlike whatever it was at that State of Play. Yeah, great pizza. I make some great pizza.
Dang, you are just on fire with the segues today.
Yeah, I know. I'm on point. And I've also been playing Sneaky Sasquatch on my iPhone. Also a pretty nifty game where you're a little Sasquatch just stealing some food, being a little deviant. What's funny about this game is that Apple actually bought the developers of this game, which I believe is like a super tiny studio. Very head scratching. I don't know why they bought them. But I don't know, they did make a good game. I'm having fun with that every like 15 minutes when I'm bored, just doing nothing. I'll just whip out the iPhone, just making pizzas and stealing pizza. That's it. What about you?
This past week, I've mainly just been playing Super Mario RPG on the Switch, which I don't have a ton more thoughts about it than I had previously. It's a fine remake. I think that there still are things about the original that I think are better, mainly like the difficulty, because in the remake it is one of like the easiest games I've ever played, I swear. Well, okay, that's a big exaggeration. I could be talking about fucking whatever that mobile game you were probably talking about is.
Wait, did you say the original is like one of the easiest games ever?
No, the Switch remake. But even to know that was hyperbole though. It's not one of the easiest games ever, but it's just not. They made it so like you have team moves that you're able to do with your party. Whenever you attack enemies, it does damage to the surrounding ones. I don't know. The original I thought did a really good job overall with the difficulty. Maybe aside from like the final boss, which was like way too hard. Even though the remake is really good, you got some nice quality of life fixes. Like the world map is way easier to traverse around. The cutscenes that they added are really cool. So yeah, Super Mario RPG. If you never played it, feel free to get on the Switch. I think it's still valid enough. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about today, so we can kind of move into the programming if you want.
Yes. All right, we're back to video games, truly.
Well, we already were on video games, but yes, we are back to video games. I mean, well, we could go back to talking about foot jobs if you want. We could do that.
I'm not opposed. I mean, what? No, hold on. Tennis.
Of course.
Tennis.
Of course you're not opposed. All right, so Mario Tennis Fever.
So Mario's pickleball. Thank God it's not real. We got tennis fever.
I wish it was Mario Pickleball, just for the record. The Mario Tennis Fever, it came out apparently.
At the time of recording, it came out today.
Yeah, I literally opened up YouTube and I just see like everyone posting Mario Tennis Fever reviews, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? I thought that game came out in like a month. I did not even know that was a thing still, but apparently the game's fun, but it also apparently is disappointing at the same time. So that is about what I expected from a new Mario Tennis game, to be honest.
I saw Nathaniel Bandy saying that the single player is only 4 hours and too short.
Yes, I saw IGN said that too.
I also heard people saying like, well, why are you playing Mario Tennis just for the story mode? Why are you reviewing it without like multiplayer or something? I don't know.
Well, that's fair. I mean, the only Mario sports game with a good campaign I can think of off the top of my head was like Mario Super Sluggers, to be honest, and even that one was short. So
what even goes on in that?
And Mario Super Sluggers, well, you basically take control of Mario and you're going from ballpark to ballpark and you're having to do missions to like recruit the different teammates that you're able to get. It just has like cute writing and it's like fun doing the mini games and stuff. But from what I've seen with Mario Tennis Fever, it looks like the single player is both short, but it's also very annoyingly like handholdy. Like all the missions are like not all of them, but it seems like a lot of the missions are like insultingly easy and not super inspired, which is a shame because that has definitely been one of the weaknesses of like especially modern Mario sports games. But even with that though, I will say the core gameplay does look fun, especially compared to Mario Tennis Aces. I like the idea of having a ton of different potential combinations of like fever rackets and stuff, and the mayhem that it can cause, especially if you're playing with a friend. I think that it makes the game way more approachable.
Yeah, FYI, I don't think both of us, we have not bought the game.
And nor do I really intend on buying it.
Yeah, we could be talking out of our ass, which we are.
We definitely
so we don't have like...
We're just going off of reviews and stuff. Yeah, just going off of...
I've have Tennis Aces. I just didn't pick up Fever because one, I'm not the biggest Mario sports fan, and two, there's nothing. Okay, the gameplay looked very interesting. The fidelity looked pretty great, but the fever rackets looked pretty funny. I did hear from a Nintendo event before the game released that this one reviewer was saying one of the event holders was like, okay, don't try out the Bullet Bill racket because it is overpowered. And I think it was someone from Good Vibes Gaming, but they asked, are you guys gonna make a patch to this racket because it's so overpowered? And he said nope.
Why would he acknowledge that it's overpowered if he's not gonna...
Yeah, I don't know. He said like this racket really is funny. Overpowered, don't use it. But then when they were in like a full 4-player game, I think the person from Good Vibes Gaming just selected it and just went ham on it. So I wonder how that actually is. I just didn't pick this up. I wasn't very intrigued. It looked solid,
but for $70 though, $70.
I don't know the value of the game because I haven't played it, but on the outlook, like looking from outside, I don't think it was worth $70. I haven't played it, so I have no clue.
Well, I know, but like it still is like this is a case where I think it is valid to have at least some level of an opinion on a game prior to playing it, because whenever you're pricing it at $70, it better be worth the price tag, especially for a Mario sports game. I do agree. After thinking about it more, there is some really nice visual fidelity, especially with some of the models. Like I noticed that they added more like bristles to, I think it was like Mario's mustache, for example. Like the game does look good. It looks good. And I think that the actual, like, if you're playing with friends, this looks like maybe the most fun Mario Tennis game that there is. Although I'm not really a fan of any of them, but like, I think this one looks fun. It's just like a 4-hour campaign, and then like, I just don't know how often I would be, you know, busting this out with people. So for me, I don't see the price tag, but you know, if people are having fun with it, then like, you know, more power to them.
I think if it's a good quality game, which I'm hearing mostly it's a good quality game. I believe the Metacritic score is like around like 70, getting closer to 80. Pretty solid. I'd pick this up if a lot of my friends are picking this up, and I unfortunately do not think many are picking this one up.
See, that's the thing, Donovan, is it's like none of my friends are gonna get it. If you get the game, I'll get it live on air. But I'll say this right now: I will play it with DonovanDud if he gets it.
Yeah, if you get it, I'll get it. But the thing is, now it falls onto one of us. Should we get this game? Nintendo's prices, like in the Switch generation, everything was $60, and now everything is $70. So that's like the new standard. I mean, it's inflation. Like all these prices are always going up. Like it was 50, then it was 60, then it was 70, and Nintendo loves putting like every single one of their games at the premium max price.
They do love doing that.
So like, I'm not surprised that they went with the new standard price of $70. It's just I don't see too much value in me purchasing it. Sorry guys.
Well, you don't have, Donovan, you don't have to apologize. It's just like, I don't...
Sorry to the Mario Tennis fans.
But once again, though, to be fair, maybe I will buy it because there's like barely any fucking thing else coming out on the Switch 2 in the foreseeable future. So like, maybe I should just allocate my money to this and play Mario Tennis Fever. I mean, we have another thing coming out soon, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then we have, Yoshi in the fucking book, whatever the fuck that game is called.
That's the title. I mean, third parties are hitting hard.
But I'm talking about Nintendo releases. I'm talking about Nintendo published games. Like what else do we have to look forward to right now?
Cricket.
Okay, yeah. Right. This podcast
the
sucks.
first half, the first half of the Switch 2's 2026, I think, is falling on the third parties. Which I mean, I'll be eating them up. Pragmata looks pretty cool.
No. I'm not trying to be like this year sucks because it's third parties like doing all the work. Like I love having third party support on the Switch too. I think that's awesome. But I'm just making a comment about how because there's like nothing else coming out from Nintendo, it's like, okay, well maybe I will get Mario Tennis Fever because like, you know, I want something to play in the meantime. So
I guess. Oh wait, I know this is not in our programming, but I find it really funny that we're not talking about that poor partner direct.
Oh yeah, the partner direct happened.
That could have been an email,
dude. The outrage that I saw on Twitter. What was I doing that morning? I think I had class or something, but I remember I was like, okay, so there's a partner direct happening. I have to go to class. I'll just see like a recap of it. I was assuming it was going to be your typical partner direct where, you know, maybe some people are disappointed. You have like one dumbass that's like, why didn't they announce the next 3D Mario? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. But no, like whatever I tell you, dude, the outrage for this partner direct felt borderline apocalyptic, Donovan. I opened up Twitter. I opened up Twitter and people are like, this was the worst Nintendo thing ever. Like they should be ashamed. And I was like, dude, like, oh my
god. I mean, I didn't watch it live, but that was definitely one of the worst Nintendo Directs of recent memory. The fact that their final announcement featured Todd Howard announcing old ass video games, and not only that, they looked like bad ports.
Yeah, didn't he just come on and be like, here's a bad Fallout for this?
Yeah, here's a bad Fallout. Here's a poor looking Elder Scrolls 4 running on Switch 2. Bye. What were you thinking? And I think, Nate the Hate, he's been on a hot streak. He got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth correct, and that's pretty cool. FF7 Rebirth running on the Switch 2. Remake, that seemed more likely. Rebirth, however, that is really interesting. That's more impressive because Rebirth is a more open game. It has an open world.
Yeah, there's a lot for it to like render in at one time.
Yeah, seeing that run on Switch 2, that's pretty impressive.
Have they said like if there's going to be any visual compromises with Rebirth, or is it going to be basically
yeah,
the same?
Of course. Looking at images side by side, I mean, comparing it to the PS5, shadows are worse, hair effects are worse, performance is probably worse. It's at 1080p instead of 4K, so your typical downgrades. But I'm playing Remake on Switch 2. I think it's so impressive. Seeing Rebirth on the Switch 2, really close behind Remake's release is actually really cool. And this probably just confirms that FF7 Remake Part 3, I'm going to bet money it is called Reunion. You can click that now. So I think Reunion is definitely coming to Switch 2. A day and date, which is even more important. The Switch 2 needs more day and date releases with third-party games. And I think Square Enix is finally giving up on PlayStation, and they're like, all right, well, we're just releasing on Xbox and Switch day and date. So,
and then the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 4 is going to be called Final Fantasy VII. This is getting redundant.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing that was disappointing for me. No Elden Ring.
Yeah.
No Duskbloods.
Yeah. Especially because Duskbloods.
Anything.
Especially because Duskbloods is such a big deal too. So to see that just completely absent. That's what I mean. It's an exclusive FromSoft game. That's a big deal.
There was no Expedition 33, sadly.
That's your favorite game of all time.
Yeah, my number one favorite game of all time. Yeah, it was just like where are the heavy hitters, man? There was games like Resident Evil 9, like we knew that. Pragmata, we knew that. Stuff that could have been condensed in an email.
Yeah, just like a Nintendo newsletter would have been more appropriate.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, that was the partner direct. Anyways.
Is it okay if we move on to the unironically my current most hyped... No, I forgot Tomodachi Life existed. My second most hyped Nintendo game of this year, which is funny because they're both life sim games. But unironically... Pokemon Pokopia might be my first Pokemon game I play.
Are you being dead ass?
Well, technically I played Let's Go Eevee, but like I like to ignore that.
Are you gonna pick this up?
Donovan, I might. I might. Dude, it's like people have been making videos about it. No, I might. No. Donovan, I might. I actually might. Because people have been making videos, because I guess Nintendo's been allowing people to test the game out. And like from the
game, like
dude, Donovan, from what I've seen, like, dude, there was this one video titled, like, oh no, I like Pokemon Pokopia.
No, there's
like,
no way.
People actually like it. Wait, let me find what the video title. It was so funny.
Brainwashed.
What was that video called? I'll even shout this video out, because I think it deserves views. Because, okay, so this channel called Skill Up said, I can't believe I actually like Pokemon Pokopia.
Is it satire?
No, I watched the video. It's not satire. It's like actually like earnest.
What could this game possibly have?
Donovan, I'm trying to explain if you'll let me talk. Okay, so Pokemon Pokopia. So a lot of it is stuff we already kind of knew. It's very, like charming, cutesy, kind of like Dragon Quest Builders-esque life sim game. Has a similar art style to... It's like if Minecraft and Animal Crossing had a kid or something. It gives you that cubey look. And originally, that's as far as my thoughts on the game went. I was like, okay, this is a thing that exists. It looks like I'm just not in its demographic. And then I watched a few videos about it, and people were talking about like how seamless like the abilities that you have are, because you're using a ditto. I almost said a dildo. You're using a ditto. Damn it. You're using a ditto.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, you're using a ditto that you make look like a human, and you have different abilities that you're able to use. The terraforming looks way more accessible than something like Animal Crossing, at least from what I've played of it. Apparently, the runtime of the game is between 20 and 40 hours. I was not expecting that. That's kind of cool.
What are you doing for those hours?
Donovan, well, we don't know yet. People haven't played the whole game, but it's like, from what they played, they were like, dude, this is actually like fun. And I can't believe it. Because I thought, dude, I was like, not only was I not excited for Pokemon Pokopia, but I was like, this just looks like living the dream, but way worse. Because like, it doesn't have the charm of Tomodachi Life. But like, Donovan, I might actually buy this game. And I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like should I punish myself for this?
And we are illegal. Looking for new co-hosts for the special hour. There's FF7 Remake, there's Resident Evil 9, there's Pragmata, there's all these other third-party games, and you're choosing Pokemon Pokopia.
Well, whoa.
Okay, I'm being semi-serious.
Wait, Donovan, when did I say I wasn't gonna get the other third parties? I'm just saying I might get Pokemon Pokopia. Like we're not, like, the other third parties are irrelevant right now. I'll probably get those too. But I'm just saying, in terms of like Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games, I might actually buy this.
No way.
And then I get to talk about it on the podcast and all its glory.
You better make the greatest fucking video of all time with this game.
You know what'd be funny is if I literally buy it out of pure leisure and I don't even make videos on it.
That would be horrid.
I should do that. The worst part is that I'm actually not even doing a bit right now. Like, I'm actually kind of excited to see more about this game.
I thought this was a bit, but
no,
you are being very dead ass, and
it's not a bit.
It's concerning me. This is your second Pokemon game?
Wait, hold on. Let's pause really quick. Didn't you start this episode off by saying that you were playing 2 fucking mobile games over the past week? I don't want to hear fucking shit from you.
I was playing Pragmata.
Okay, I was playing Pragmata. I was, okay, boo fucking who?
Big boy
I'm excited. I'm excited for a new Pokemon game. Is there anything wrong with that? People have been begging.
No, you're not supposed to be excited. Let me cut my grass and play and make pizza.
Dude, like, honestly, I get how that guy feels, Donovan, because right now, I feel like I'm being judged for my lifestyle. It's like, I just want to play my Pokemon Pokopia. I just want to cut my grass in Pokemon Pokopia. Anyway.
See, this was actually a great segue. Or a great bridge, because at first it may have seemed disconnected that we have gone woke, but then we've circled all the way back to that song in Pokopia.
Editing the audio for this episode is going to be horrid because it's like we keep peaking every single time we sing into the mic. All right, so let's move into the 2 main topics of this episode. First, and this has been a long time coming, but it's finally time for us to talk about the ending of Metroid Prime 4. The only reason we still have not talked about it is because I didn't play the game until I didn't finish it until 3 weeks ago, and then we had 2 special guests on in a row, so we delayed us talking about it. But now is our chance to finally dive into more about Metroid Prime 4. And if people are tired of hearing about it on the podcast, because I know there was like a 3-episode stretch where that was like all Donovan talked about. I'm sorry, but I promise after this episode we are done talking about Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, okay, it's dead in the ground.
All right, so are we starting with the ending, or is there anything else that we want to touch on about the game that like I wasn't able to contribute to the conversation before?
Let's talk about level design first. Thoughts?
Okay. It definitely was more linear than... and also, I should preface this for anyone that doesn't know, I have not played Metroid Prime 2 Echoes or Corruption. So I don't know what the level design specifically was like. I know Corruption was more linear than the 2 previous games, but I don't know how it specifically compares with Beyond. But from what I noticed... Yeah, a lot of the level design have felt very like you know exactly where you're going, especially because you had the various NPCs, particularly Miles McKenzie, being like, you should do this. And it wasn't always. There were definitely times whenever you were fully on your own. There were other times where you had NPC companions that you were either fighting with or watching cutscenes of whatever. Anyway, I remember the levels that I enjoyed the most was Vault Forge. I really liked the puzzle solving, going through the different towers and like, you know, seeing the difference and navigating the towers was like after restoring electricity. That was pretty cool. The only part of Vault Forge I wasn't huge on was the trials for unlocking the bike. What was the bike called? I forgot.
Viola.
Yeah, Viola. I remember the trial felt like it dragged on a bit, but I did enjoy
F-Zero.
Don't compare this to F-Zero, Donovan. Don't do that. But no, like, yeah, the Volt Forge was fun. I also enjoyed the ice belt. I thought that was cool. The section where you were like circled by those wolves was pretty memorable. I remember I died on it. Donovan remembers this, but there were various times in this game where I died, and I was like spamming him, like, dude, how the fuck do I beat
Holy
this?
skill is shit.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm gonna start crying, Donovan.
You died at the wolf part?
Okay, you don't have to call me a bitch.
No, because I thought that's a scripted scene.
Yeah, but you can still die.
I didn't know you could die in that.
Yeah, and I like how I was so bad at the game. I was so bad at the game that Donovan was bewildered that I even managed to break the script of the game. No, I'm pretty sure the way that wolf segment works is you have to like last a certain amount of time or maybe take enough of them out to then proceed the cutscene where you get saved. I think maybe, I don't know. Dude, I honestly don't know how I died in it. I'm going to be so honest. Like, maybe it's because I was just like having that W key mindset too much where I was just spraying and praying, but I don't know. Anyway, the ice belt was fun. I like how the ice belt was the closest the game got to kind of getting non-linear whenever you had that one part where you had to unlock two various doors by like finding different artifacts that gave you the combination to open them. Even though the direction you were supposed to go to collect them was pretty obvious, it still was fun. Other than that, level design was good. I still prefer the original game. What about you? Well, is there anything that you haven't already like talked about on the podcast that you maybe didn't change your mind on?
At first, I remember saying level design isn't that linear. According to other Metroid Prime games, it really is just a string of hallways. But then after playing the Flare Pool and the Great Mines and just having a month to think about this, yeah, the level design is very linear. It's probably more linear than Corruption, which was, I mean, one of the faults of Corruption people had at the time was that it felt a little too linear, but even Corruption had its own branching pathways, this whole, like, webbing across the different planets. And in Prime 4 Beyond, it really is a straight line. Like the Flare Pool is, it's just a line, and then the Great Mines, it's just a linear spiral going down. That was really disappointing. And the Great Mines, that I always forget that's an area in the game because it's so short. I went there twice in my playthrough. That's it. The backtracking there, that is kind of laughable for a Metroidvania.
I feel like the Great Mines was mostly just cutscene. Like, whenever I'm thinking back on the Great Mines, most of it that I remember was just like, you had an NPC sacrifice themselves, and then, or quote unquote sacrifice themselves, more on that in a second. But no, like, I remember, during the Great Mines, like, whenever I'm thinking back on actually playing through it, there were a couple puzzles that involved you using the homing, the psychic beam. There were a few puzzles that involved you using that to like maybe shoot through a hole and then like break apart the stems of that plant thing. Yeah, the Great Mines, especially whenever you compare it to, once again, going back to the original Metroid Prime game, Phazon Mines. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, Phazon Mines just mogs the Great Mines.
Like, both in terms of the actual level design of Phazon Mines was incredible, but also just the atmosphere. Because Great Mines wasn't really that foreboding or creepy either. It was just, you're just kind of like in a mine shaft. Like, I don't know.
The thing is, the horde moments where you're being swarmed, that was tense. I did like that, but that's like the entire area. It is just horde after horde after horde. So, I mean, the gameplay, the movement, and the combat of Beyond, I think is the best of the entire series, but I kind of want more out of my Metroidvania than just shooting things, because that's just Halo. But I mean, the parts of the Great Mines I did like. I mean, okay, there's not really much, but the fact that you can't use missiles, that's a great little, I mean, it's not really a puzzle, but it's a great limiting factor. It creates a foreboding constraint that I really like, and also the boss battle is awesome. That was great. Boss battles are definitely the strengths of this game, and including the visuals, and the music is so good.
The music was great. Yeah.
The music I might put at number 2 or even number 1 on certain days.
Okay, let's pump the brakes there, Donovan. I don't know if I'm putting the music above my GOAT Metroid Prime 1. Okay, let's calm down.
I even consider Corruption better than 1 in terms of music.
You're about to PMO, bro.
You haven't played the game.
that is very true.
My favorite areas again are what you said, Volt Forge. I remember when I was playing that, I played in like a completely dark room of my OLED TV, having the soundbar just blaring at full volume. I was like, this is one of the coolest areas ever in a video game. And then the Ice Bell is my favorite one, because
I love the Ice Bell.
That foreboding sense of dread as you're just walking down the halls. You basically know what's gonna happen. You basically know what's gonna happen. Like all these, grievers are gonna come to life, but it's so cool. Here's the problem though. There are only like 2 fucking enemies in the game. Cybots and grievers. And I'm sick and tired of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good talk.
So the weather is also pretty good.
I was waiting for you to say more, but
no, I was the enemy variety not great. I kept fighting the same things over and over again.
I did still like the way combat was controlled though. Like I like the idea of locking on and then you're still able to like move your reticle around while locked on. That was kind of cool. Yeah. And it just felt very fluid. Like even if the regular enemies were definitely monotonous, the actual act of fighting was still satisfying. So I'll give it that. And anyway, Soul Valley.
Valley. Hey, Viola is fun to control. Nintendo knows how to make their vehicles work.
Okay, Viola's fun to control, but you barely use Viola in the whole fucking game.
That's the problem.
And the only time where you do use Viola, it's in Soul Valley, where the only thing that you're able to do is either collect green energy crystals, which that alone was annoying, and then get the mech parts, which was kind of like the token like late game fetch quest alongside the green crystals. But
there was one boss fight which is definitely the worst in the entire game.
That boss fight dragged on so much. It kind of felt like this game's equivalent of what the fuck was that sand boss in Breath of the Wild called? Molduga. It felt like Molduga because it's like burying in the sand and then it was in the desert.
Except if Molduga only had one weak point.
Dude, yeah, because this whole the whole boss fight that we're referring to, it had like one attack pattern that was very easy to avoid, and then the weak point was incredibly easy to get. And it had so much health that you had to repeat this like 7 times.
There's literally shrines where you're going down an elevator underground and solving the most basic puzzle imaginable. It just feels like, and I've read from interviews, they were taking Breath of the Wild and somehow inserting Metroid into it, but they didn't want to fully commit, but they didn't want to cancel the game again. So they're like, all right, we gotta do something here. So they just shipped this, and it's very, very, you can tell they weren't confident in their vision.
Yeah, I just think Soul Valley, honestly, like, even if there was nothing to do in it, but it just at least looked pretty, like, it wouldn't bother me so much. I mean, it still would be annoying because backtracking throughout it so many times through, like, a bland open space is definitely annoying. But, like, I mean, if it at least looked good, then that would be one thing. But, like, it's just a bland, boring desert, especially when compared with how gorgeous the rest of the game looks. It's incredibly off-putting.
That part's made by Game Freak.
Yeah, and there's just like so little to interact with too. Like I saw one, I was watching a YouTube video about Metroid Prime 4, and I wish I remember the channel so I could like reference it when saying this, because they were the one that brought this up, and then I was like, oh yeah, I agree with that. But why did they put Base Camp in Fury Green instead of Soul Valley? Because like
I have no idea.
because the fact that Base Camp is in Fury Green makes backtracking even more annoying, because you have to go through, not only do you have to go to Fury Green every time, but you have to go through that cannon launching cutscene.
Yeah, you gotta wait for it to load, and then if you want to upgrade it to a new shot type, you gotta go to Miles instead of how you used to do it, where she just upgrades it herself.
Yeah, why are we having to go to Miles? It's just weird. I don't know.
Stop explaining to me what ice does. Soul Valley left so much to be desired, but I tolerated it. It's like, man, this could have been so much more. But the number one thing that rubs me the wrong way, that grinds my gears the most, is not the level design, not really even the idea of the NPCs, not Soul Valley, the story. What do you think of the story?
I think the story was interesting at first. I liked the idea of uncovering, in a similar way to the original game, where you're uncovering Lemurian history. You see, like, as you're going throughout, like, you first see it with Fury Green, but also whenever you're going to the tower and all the different areas on the planet. What the fuck is the planet called? I forgot.
Vuros.
Yeah, planet Vuros. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to uncover, and on paper, I like the idea of having NPCs that you're helping also escape from the planet. At first, I wasn't a big fan of it, but then as I played through the game, they weren't as obtrusive as I was expecting, and it didn't bother me. The story did bother me once we get to the ending, which I'm assuming that's what you're alluding to.
The story of Beyond is the equivalent of getting blue-balled and getting kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
Was waiting. I was like, all right, this story is going to be so awesome. I can't wait for them to reveal the truth or whatever. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And then I'm like, all right, I'm at the final boss. Here it comes. Here's the big reveal. And then nothing happens. Okay, I'm like, all right, maybe it's going to be saved for the ending. And then the ending happened. And I remember I looked at my screen, and when the credits started rolling, I audibly said, wait, what? That can't be it.
I remember you mentioning this whenever you were originally talking about the game, and I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. It really is that bad. This ending was terrible. It's terrible for multiple reasons. For one thing, I didn't really pick up on this until I reached the ending, and then it clicked. I was like, wait, like, I don't even really know anything about the fucking villain of this game. I saw that I think in one of the Metroid Prime Hunters game on the DS, maybe there's like some context, but Sylux, throughout the game, he's like not even fucking there.
Dude, Sylux has kind of aura. At least he used to. He was so cool. But then there's just nothing to him. At least in like Tears of the Kingdom, Ganondorf also stood around doing nothing, but at least you felt his presence. He was actively fucking shit up.
Yeah, throughout the game, I kind of forgot. Yeah, I forgot who the antagonist was. I was like, wait, what? Because at a certain point, I was like, oh yeah, we're just trying to escape the planet and preserve the ancient civilization. And I was like, okay, cool. This is a fun, like, escape the planet type of thing. And then at the end I was like, oh wait, who's this guy again? I forgot.
Sylux, like, I remember talking about this before the game released, like, he has so much potential with his story. They had 18 years to dream up, like the producer, Kensuke Tanabe, he had 18 years to dream up some amazing backstory, as well as all these other developers. They had so much time to think of something. They gave us the bare minimum. And I'm not even talking about the backstory. What he does in the game, it's like, why is he here? Because according to the scan log, he was mind controlling the space pirates with some new Metroid, and he accidentally fucks shit up and he gets transported to Vuros. And now he's trying to escape. So, like, what was he doing, like, raiding all these Federation bases? I don't know. How did he get his powers?
Donovan, it's because
I don't know.
It's because he evil. he, the bad guy.
It's like, what are you doing? And then he's all like, just you and me, Samus, let's finish this. It's like, why are you so angry? They're like, I don't know you.
Yeah, no, dead
I
ass.
admire the hater energy.
No, like, honestly, because, yeah, at the beginning, I will say the prologue of the game is really cool. Like, especially the scene whenever, like, the game actually introduces, because wasn't Silex in that prologue, like, during that whole interaction?
Yeah, he was, but
Yeah,
like,
and it was
what
cool.
was he doing?
Yeah, no. What was he doing there? But I'm just saying he had a cool presence at least. He had aura, but because the game didn't introduce him into the plot at all, until the very end, I was like, I kind of forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, he shot that thing, and then like he's like, oh, guess I'm here now. So basically, the events of Beyond is just a bad Tuesday for Silex.
Dude, and then we actually get to the ending where, first of all, you don't even get, like, that backstory of Silex we were talking about. It's hidden behind a 100% completion, which is stupid. Because on hard mode. We already had so little things to, take from him in the first place. But then the fact that they leave a cutscene by a 100% completion, it better be a good cutscene, right, Donovan? No, it sucks ass.
One charge shot?
Yeah, that's it. That's literally the whole cutscene. It's like, dude. Anyway, yeah, so back to the ending. The thing that's weird about this game is it feels like they're setting up a sequel because, like, Samus has to basically... also, I'm going to have to put, like, a spoiler warning over text at the beginning because I just realized, like, we never said spoiler warning, and I really hope no one kept watching thinking that they were not going to get spoiled, but spoiler warning, maybe it's too late, but I'll throw that in there. Anyway, basically Samus has to escape on her own because first you have a fake out death from all the NPCs, which I'm going to be honest, I fully expected that to happen because it was just like, I assumed Nintendo didn't have the balls to actually kill them off. They would.
Holy Marvel.
No, I knew they were going to do the Duffer Brothers thing where it's like, oh, they died, and then they're immediately back right before the final battle, and I was like, okay, whatever. And also, it's like, I was never that emotionally attached to any of them, so I don't know, it never bugged me that heavily. But then you kill Silex, and then Silex has a fake out death.
Yeah, and then he comes back. How does he have that power? I don't know.
And it is so contrived. And then the game just ends with the NPCs presumably dying, but we don't know.
Like, Silex could fuck their shit up. Like, I bet they're good. I bet they're dead. It's like Silex is just gonna kill them.
I hope you guys are excited to wait another 18 years to find out what happened.
Like the Lemorne subplot, I was confused at first. I guess what they're trying to go for is that all of them died. But like, I at first I didn't really understand that. I'm like, wait, where's Shatoya? Did he die? Is there any like environmental storytelling to show us that, or are you gonna leave that up in the air? I don't know, but basically you cannot save the Lemorne. I mean, yeah, that's sad.
Okay, but that's the thing. Is normally like, if they want to go with a tragic story like that, that's fine, but you have to write it well. Just because you have everyone die in the end doesn't make it a good story. Instead, in this case, it just kind of devalues the experience and undermines everything that you did because it's like, oh shit, well, that was all for fucking nothing.
Yeah. Again, who fucking wrote the scenario of this game? Like the Metroids. The Metroids fuse with all these bosses. If you took out that fact in the scan logs, I wouldn't know. What do Metroids have to do with this game? They might as well not be here. Or like, why were the Metroids transported but not the space pirates or other Federation troopers? How did the Metroids get like to these bosses? How did they get in there? I don't know.
I still enjoy the game. I think if you play through it and ignore the story, I think it's fun. It just, unfortunately, if you allow yourself to get attached to what's going on, it ends up making the game worse because, like you just said, you're not even saving you're not even saving like the other Federation troops. You're not saving the ancient history. Like, you kind of feels like you failed, and it feels like you failed not for your own doing, but because the game just decided that Silex is going to come back to life for no reason at all, and then just kill everyone. So it's like, well, why did I even play the game then? It's like, you know,
you do save the memory fruit, the memory fruit. So I guess that's all nice and cool. I feel like Samus would prioritize the people that she's at least maybe may have made a connection with, the people that are alive here now, than a already dead race. I don't know. And also Samus not talking, again, that's just because she had horrible dialogue in Other M doesn't mean she shouldn't talk ever. She just comes off as a socially awkward doofus. Like, does Samus even care about these people? She could be sticking out her tongue.
No,
like,
Donovan, it's because she's aura farming throughout the whole game. She can't lose aura by talking.
Yeah.
No, it is. No, I think it's fine to have a stoic main character, but like Nintendo, like every single one of their fucking protagonists are stoic main characters. Or at least the ones I've played. I know I haven't played every Nintendo game, but like Link, you got Mario doesn't even talk. You got Samus. Like, it's like
the Federation Troopers were fine. I grew to like them, and when Miles got shot, I was actually like, oh shit, not Scott the Woz, no, they could have been written better. Then you got Sylux. I like the idea of his backstory where he's just a jerk, and I like the fact that not all villains have to have a redeeming, like a backstory, like a tragic backstory, where he was wronged or something bad happened to him or his family. I like that he's an asshole. He's just a jerk. But like, they could have went so much harder on that, and they didn't. This whole story is just a humongous question mark. Here's my hot take. In Metroid Prime 5, I want the Federation Troopers to return. And I want Sylux to return. I want Sylux to, like, beat them, like, torture them. I want them to be changed characters, and they have, like, an actual character arc. I want the Federation Troopers back, and I want them changed and different. I want Sylux back, and I want more from him.
Okay. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not even thinking about the next Metroid Prime game yet, because it's like, I don't even know if it's ever, like, at this point.
Yeah, if it's ever even gonna happen.
Especially because the sales was not very good, supposedly, for Prime 4, which isn't surprising because Metroid never really sells, but like
across a month, both on Switch 1 and Switch 2, both versions, or one of the versions didn't sell over 1 million, but for Damage Control, Nintendo did confirm that, yeah, the game did sell over 1 million a month in. So average Metroid numbers, which unfortunately I'd be like, everyone go buy this game now, please. It's the masterpiece. Unfortunately, I cannot say that for Beyond. Like, I think these numbers are pretty well justified for this not so perfect game. I'd give this game, on a good day, a flat 8 out of 10. If I'm feeling really mean, 7.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards a 7 given the story problems. Sorry, this motorcycle just revved its engine so loud right outside my apartment. I hope that didn't pick up.
I think Nintendo of recent has had bad or very mediocre writing.
Yeah.
And they should get that checked out. And that's kind of the antithesis of their game design philosophy, which is a little frustrating. Well, anyways, on the topic of, I no longer like Nintendo. We are now a PlayStation
we're
podcast.
Now PlayStation only.
Yeah. So the new State of Play actually mogs the partner direct by a landslide. That was definitely the best State of Play I've ever watched, and that is not a very high bar. Pretty damn good. They had a lot of games, and a lot of good quality games. I guess the big ones were at the end. They had a God of War trilogy remake. That's pretty cool. Didn't see any gameplay, but the idea of it is pretty cool. I'm currently playing Ragnarok, so I'm not yet a God of War fan, but we'll see. And on the same day, they released a God of War spin-off, a prequel, a 2D action game. They shadow dropped that. That's really cool. I'll have to be more of a God of War fan to be truly excited, but very happy for those God of War fans. Silent Hill is pretty cool. The John Wick game looks pretty fire, not gonna lie. The new Castlevania game, I mean Metroid, we were just talking about Metroid, and Castlevania looks to be swinging. Konami is back making video games, especially with their brand new Metal Gear Solid remasters. I just find it really funny that these aren't involving Kojima at all. So there's something soulless about these, especially if you know the story between Kojima and Konami.
It's a very, very extensive story between those two.
Yeah, if you like Metal Gear Solid, this is probably a win for you. I'm looking through the PS blog right now. Dead or Alive, get your tissues out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Damn it, Donovan.
Beast of Reincarnation. We keep seeing this. What's funny is that this is made from Game Freak. You would not know by looking at the visuals of this game.
Because it actually looks good.
Have you seen anything of this game?
I remember you talking about it looking good. Or looking good by Game Freak standards, maybe.
I don't know what's going on at Game Freak. It's probably the Pokemon company holding them back. But Beast of Reincarnation looks a million times better than any game they've developed, just on a fidelity standpoint. Gameplay wise, it's an action RPG. It looks very similar to like the FF7 remakes, where you can sort of pause the game and it kind of goes into slow motion where you can do more intricate spells, and then you can parry things and then just your standard attack. So that's actually kind of cool. I'm slightly intrigued, although this is Game Freak. We'll see what happens. Control 2, that's pretty cool. Don't know much about Control, but there's Kenna 2. Looks really cool. I always thought the art style looks really, really rad. I've heard pretty good things about the first game. Glad to see this is coming out. I did not know this was a PlayStation Studios game. Rayman is back, although it's a 30th anniversary edition, so I get... Oh, is any win maybe?
I didn't have time to watch the state of play, so that's why I have like nothing to add right now. I am excited to play Rayman. I never played the original, so I mean, even if it's not a full remaster, remake, or whatever, I'm excited to try it out. Yeah, I think Resident Evil 9 looks fun. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, Leon looks infected again.
Yeah.
Just another Tuesday, huh? And I guess there's 007, the new game. Yeah, looks quality. I remember I heard so many references to the movies. I'm like, oh my god, it's like a Marvel trailer where they're or like like the Mario Galaxy trailer where like, oh my gosh, is that a Ninja? Where they're just saying quotes from all the other movies. I'll have to see more of that game. But that's kind of it for the state of play. Usually state of plays are just a wet fart, but this one had pretty good pacing and lots of good games for the people that are interested. Lots of good quality games instead of, first-person shooter number 2042.
All right, well, I think that's all I had planned. Donovan, was there anything else you wanted to add in? Or
nope, that's all. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Other than that foot massage, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, well, this is the second episode that's been just infected by foot talk. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. As always, we are all the way up to 32 now. Donovan, if the people enjoy your voice and what you had to say, where can they find you on the internet?
I'm DonovanDud on YouTube. You can also find me in my Discord server, The Nintendo Boys. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. What about MrDean44?
Yeah, 44, MrDean44. I am here on YouTube, MrDean44. That's what I just said, but I'm going to say it again. I am also on Twitter and Blue Sky. I have a Discord server called the Dean Kingdom, just your typical Discord server stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it. Bye.